They got together in Paris at the Versailles Palace in 1919 and worked out this peace agreement, which wound up as the Versailles Treaty.
Right.
They called the German. They still had this blockade.
Right.
For 7 months after the war was over, they maintained a starvation blockade, which was immoral and inhuman,
Sure.
actually. And they called the Germans in and said, okay, sign here. And they read it over and they were appalled because the treaty held them responsible for starting the war, which they did not do,
Right.
and held them responsible for all the death and destruction caused by the war.
Right.
And they finally imposed reparations, some $35 billion in money at that time. I guess it's in the trillions
Wow.
in modern currency, mainly paid to France and some to Belgium.
Right.
Now, this Versailles Treaty virtually enslaved Germany. It cut their troops down, the number of people in their military, down to 100,000, not enough to defend the country, certainly not even
Right.
enough to maintain peace in the country. They took their merchant fleet entirely and divided it amongst themselves. The Allies did, not the United States, but France and Britain did it. They took large chunks of Germany and gave it to other countries, along with the German people living in those regions. All went to Lithuania, Silesia, and part of East Prussia went to Poland. The Polish corridor cut Germany in two, with the East Prussia completely separated from Germany. The Sudetenland, which was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, had 3.8 million Germans lived there for hundreds of years, and they were the most prosperous people in the region, wanted very much to join Germany, wouldn't allow it. Austria was cut off. I think they had about 7 million people, something like that. There's a little rump state, completely unviable economically. They wanted to join Germany. The treaty wouldn't allow it. And so the point of the treaty, I mean, the purpose of the war was to knock Germany down as a competitor. And the purpose of the treaty was to hold Germany down so they never would rise up and become a superpower again.
Right.
So that's what, they took most of their coal mines,
Right.
the richest farmlands, and finally they had to sign the treaty because the people were starving. Thousands a
Right.
week were starving to death.
Right.
And signed the treaty, but they didn't agree with it. They said
Right.
this is under duress.
Right.